Hi, I'm Glenn, the corporate chef at Brookshire Grocery Company. Now, the breakfast taco is my idea of the perfect breakfast. It's got eggs, bacon, maybe sausage, potatoes, cheese, sometimes some beans, all wrapped up in a flour tortilla, which makes for a really great on-the-go breakfast. Now, you don't need to go through a drive-thru to get these, and I'm going to show you how to make one in your own kitchen. Okay, so we're gonna make some breakfast tacos here. Now, obviously for breakfast tacos, we're gonna need some eggs. Now, we're gonna scramble up some eggs. I wanna show you guys how to actually crack some eggs. Now, I see this so often. Most people, they'll find the edge of a countertop or the edge of the bowl. And when you crack an egg like that, all you're doing is you're pushing the shell into the egg itself. So the best way to crack an egg is just simply on a flat surface, like this. You get a nice crack. And from there, no shell. Once again, no shell at all. So we'll start off with 3 eggs. Now, you can go, you can whisk these up. You don't have to whisk them like crazy. You just want to get them, the yolks and the whites incorporated. We've got that now. To lighten up the egg a little bit, you can add moisture, you can add water, you can add milk, cream. I'll add a little bit of cream, probably about, I don't know, a teaspoon or so per yolk. So in this case, it'll be about a tablespoon total. All right. So these are ready to go into a pan to scramble. Now these are ready to go in a pan, but before you do that, you got to make sure you got everything together to get these cooked properly. One of the first things you need to do is make sure that your pan is too hot. One of the things I notice people do is they turn the stove up as hot as it'll go, put their pan on, get their pan really hot, and dump the eggs in, maybe with the addition of some butter or some other type of oil. And what you're doing is you're really drying the eggs out. So you want to start on, at least start the eggs on a low temp. So you've got a medium low temperature. Add just a little bit of butter. Now I'm using a regular, obviously a pan that doesn't have any Teflon. I know a lot of folks like to use that, and that's great. But if your pan is properly heated and coated with a little bit of oil, you shouldn't have a lot of issues. And if they stick a little bit, it isn't going to hurt anything anyway. So we've got our butter melted, and in we go with our eggs. Once they go in, you want to give it a quick stir, somewhat quick, and then just let them sit for a second. And you're going to see the eggs starting to form curds, and this is a good thing. Once you see that, you can turn the heat up slightly to a little bit higher heat. And after that, just to continue to fold the eggs around. Now, if you want to add cheese, this is the point where you do it. I like to add the cheese in the eggs. You can also do it in your breakfast taco. You want to pull these off whenever they're still a little bit wet. If the eggs are dried out whenever you get ready to serve them, the eggs are going to be much more dried out by the time that you eat them. So a little bit of wet is not going to hurt anything at all. Believe me, by the time this thing gets to your breakfast taco, they'll be perfectly cooked. So we've got all our ingredients together. I think the other thing that folks have a challenge on is getting tortillas warm. It's actually really simple. You can wrap them in a paper towel, a slightly damp paper towel, and put them in a microwave. I actually like putting them in the oven. I think that works a little bit better. So just simply wrap them in foil. Put them in about 350 degree oven for, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. That's plenty. Depending on how many of you got in there. Just place them in the oven for a few minutes, pull them out, and they're done. So you've got your hot tortillas. I'm sure you've gone into the grocery store and seen large ones, standard size, big burrito. Really, you can make them out of whatever you want. The bigger they are, they might be a little bit easier to wrap for some folks, but then you end up with a lot more tortilla than anything else. But to get started, we are going to, of course, start with our hot tortillas. And you don't have to put a lot of ingredients. You can put, I think for the ease of wrapping, less is usually more when it comes to one of these things. So simply add your egg. bacon if you like. You can add a little potato. Now, salsas, of course, that's 100% personal choice. I like a green salsa in the morning. I think it's a little bit more acidic. I think it lends itself well to a breakfast burrito. You don't have to add a lot. It will make it soggy if you add too much. So to roll, it's really quite simple. You just take the bottom end, roll over the top. If you want to close off one of the ends, you can do that to seal the bottom. And just keep rolling up until you're done. Now, at that point, you could just simply serve it. But if you wanted them to go, grab a sheet of foil, and wrap them up. And you can also, if you want to make these a little bit ahead of time in the morning, you could take them in and make as many as you wanted, and just put them in the oven under low heat. And that's all there is to it. So there it is. The breakfast taco is one of the easiest things that you can make. It's great if you're on the go, trying to get the kids to school or before work, especially it's the most important meal of the day. You can find this recipe in the August issue of Celebrate Cooking. It's available online or at your local Brookshire's.